growing up as I did in Alberta, there were not a lot of other Yiddish-speaking kids there. There were some. And they all, every summer, they all got sent off to this fantastic Yiddish-speaking socialist summer camp near Toronto. This is a real place called Camp Niveld. And I would come back, and they would tell me every year, how was it? Pete Seeger was there. And it turns out it's true. Pete Seeger really did, you know, he's very Jewish, Pete. Pete Seeger would show up fairly regularly. I mean, for all I know, these guys, they got Willie Guthrie, they got Cisco Houston, they got Leon Trotsky and Dr. Zhiglovsky, they got 3 of the Scottsboro boys. You know, they got Pete Seeger, his little boxes on the hillside, little boxes made of ticky-tacky. Well, the only little boxes that anybody ever even heard of at the summer camps I went to were called tefillin. There's a black one, and a black one, and a black one, and a black one. And they're all made out of kosher animals, and they all look just the same. Thank you. You see, my father was possibly the single most prominent chassid in all of Lethbridge, Alberta. And I was at Camp Shomer Pesuyim. It's a line from the Psalms. Shomer Pesuyim Adoishem. The Lord protects the feeble-minded. It's like, you know, my friends are at the endless hootenanny, and I'm at Camp Withering Irony. Camp Yes Means No. Camp Don't Go Get Many Ideas, kid. This was a summer camp in upstate New York for socially backward boys of Polish Hasidic parentage. Okay, any of you who have ever been lucky enough to walk into a black kosher butcher shop about half an hour before it closes on Friday is going to wonder exactly where a culture like this gets off with the chutzpah to have a notion of socially backward, you know, like bad manners in this kind of context. You know, it's no accident that the guy who invented roller derby, this is actually true, you know, roller derby, a game devoted entirely to pointless pushing. Growing up as a boy, I'm a chassid on the Lower East Side of New York. If I were to empty this room out right now, a room this size, and put 10 chassidim inside here, within 90 seconds, they would be pushing. Unfortunately, this is not satire, this is Torah. I keep thinking, like, if Dante had ever had to go Pesach shopping in Utrecht, he might have written something worthwhile. But at Camp Shomer Pesuyim, we didn't have any ice hockey, we didn't have any baseball, we didn't have any horseshoes. There's nothing but Gemura under the open sky. And what the brochures referred to as their famous water sports program. This was every Friday afternoon, each boy got 5 minutes alone in the mikveh with a snorkel. My friends from Lethbridge, they got Pete Seeger, they got Paul Robeson, and I, Levi Isaac, son of Surah from Bardichev. Well, we got a direct descendant of Rabbi Levi Isaac, son of Surah from Bardichev. This was the Yukerov. He was a well-known youth specialist in Brooklyn at the time. He'd come up once a week, you know, in his spookies and the white socks and his strammel. He wanted to blend in with the kids. We're digging it, man. You know, I like your threads, Rabbi. It's kind of the Mr. B capote. It's really something. But he'd come once a week and he'd invade us. You know, he'd hack us at chanik, he'd knock us at tea kettle, he'd dry us at spudik, he'd turn us around a high fur hat of the type favored by Polish chassidim. But he only ever had 2 topics of conversation. He figured that if we were at this camp for Hasidic delinquents, we must have been guilty of at least one of them. These were Zionism and nocturnal emissions. Now, according to the Rove, these were exactly the same thing. I'm still working on this one. I occasionally wake up in my trailer and find, that there's an Israeli flag on the sheets or something. According to him, it had something to do with giving in to forbidden desires. He was always muttering away to himself in Yiddish about things that thought they were self-standing. But, God help you if you so much as cracked a smile during Yiddish. I'd sit there, there'd be tears of boredom coming down my cheeks, which he thought was a sign of repentance, although I don't know for which one. Anyway, all I wanted to do was bend over, open my fly, stick my head inside there, sing Hatikva, and combust spontaneously. The only thing we had that even resembled anything you would find at a normal summer camp was arts and crafts. They used to let us whittle. So, each boy got a knife, and he got something to carve, and we'd sit there in the Moyle workshop. Just us, the knives, and carrot after carrot, after baby carrot. And I was the artistic type or something. I had this irresistible urge to Juliennes. Anyway, the camp is here. There's a road that leads right from the center of camp into the nearby town. The town is called Bethel, New York. It's August of 1969. And what's going on in the other side of Bethel, New York in August of 1969 is exactly, we got some hipsters out here, it's Woodstock. I'm at Camp Scheumer Pesoyim. We can see the hippies trudging along the road. You hear the helicopters up above us with Janis Joplin and Jimi Hendrix inside. I'm doing microsurgery on my daily quota of carrots. I'm humming all along the watchtower in Yiddish. Zandu epes an Aroskan. Sucht der Batschen und den Grunif. It's okay, they thought I was davening. It's all of a sudden, though, a brainwave hits me, and the Dylan song transforms itself. The next thing I know, I'm crawling along through the underbrush at the side of the road. Burrs are snagging on my tzitzis. My capote is covered with grass stains. I would have felt exactly like Steve McQueen in The Great Escape, except that I was crawling along on my hands and knees instead of riding a motorcycle, and I'd also never been allowed to go to a movie. I mean, my parents were pretty avant-garde for Hasidic parents. We were living in Lethbridge, and they wanted to fit in, so we did have a television set. We just weren't allowed to plug it in.